The following video is a verbatim recitation of session interactions with models from OpenAI. Last known save date was from Q4 of 2023. Hello and welcome back to AsAnAggLore, a channel designed around connecting YouTube content consumers to content one title and thumbnail at a time. Okay, we're jumping back into part 4 of our series. Okay, so what is this that we're jumping into right now? Well, as you can see on your screen, you can take a look at specific session entries. And since this is part 3, let me describe where we're picking up from. On your screen, you can see 0, 1, 1.1, and 2. This was really the origin of me understanding or thinking about how to use custom GPTs. And my personal use case was I wanted to take random blasts, an aspect of DE FM 3 to 4 SF blast, if that means anything to you at this current moment in time. So I wanted to figure out a way to take a blast and a stream of consciousness, some thoughts, some words, some language, and I wanted to transform that into something usable, something to work through. So this is just me highlighting the process of how I thought about making an attempt to synthesize that thought, that intention in language as an idea, and to try to format that into something that I could copy and paste into a GPT, or at least in terms of understanding, well, what actually went into that, instead of just hunting online for the internet for the perfect cookie cutter prompt. So these are my stories, ... Okay, so we were at, we went through a prompt pattern catalog, one of our first videos, and then 0.0, and then 1, 1.1, and 2, and now we're at 0.3. Let me just take a double check. Yeah, 3. So this is where we're picking back up. Title. Actually, we might be able to have this red. Well, we'll do that on another day. Title. Quote, developing a structured formatting approach for raw data processing with named entity recognition and advanced data analysis techniques. Prompt. Outline a step-by-step process for building a template and structured formatting approach to convert dense, bundled text oration into a more organized reflection. Your formatting should include open bracket main topic, close bracket, and open bracket sub dash topic, close bracket, in brackets, period. Additionally, incorporate the following considerations, : enter, next line, utilize a rectangular quote formatter with angled brackets with components, : in parentheses, include heading as heading. So all of this is in parentheses and then the as, so it's open parentheses, include heading, close parentheses, as, open parentheses, heading, close parentheses. So then it's use structure tool as structure, use including overview as overview, include introduction as intro, include main content as content, include conclusion selection as conclusion. Use the use case character length to limit the line length of all code blocks. Implement the following advanced analysis techniques: named entity recognition, part of speech tagging, dependency parsing. Use sentiment analysis only when absolutely necessary. Optimize for contextual synonyms. Conduct window analysis. Allow customization for domain-specific terminology. Incorporate regular expressions for specific patterns. So this was my input as I was trying to figure out, okay, so from the previous selections, this had been distilled. This is what I had distilled from previous interactions. So I input this, and then this is what I got. Title: Developing a structured formatting approach for raw data processing with named entity recognition and advanced analysis techniques. Formatter template creation. Include headings as open bracket main topic. 1. Define the main topic for clear identification. 2. Consider using relevant keywords or phrases. B. Use structure tool as open bracket structure. 1. Establish a hierarchical structure for the content. 2. Define main selections and subsections using open bracket subtopic, close bracket. C. Include overview in angled brackets as overview in open brackets, closing. And 1. Provide a brief summary of the entire document. 2. Highlight key objectives and outcomes. D. Include introduction as intro. 1. Present background information on the raw data. 2. Introduce the purpose of structured formatting. E. Include main content as content. 1. Divide content into sections using main topic and subtopic. 2. Incorporate bullet points or numbered lists for clarity. F. Include conclusion sections as conclusion. 1. Summarize key findings and insights. 2. Propose potential steps or actions. Okay, next we moved into part 2. Advanced analysis techniques implementation. A. Named entity recognition, NER. Integrate NER to identify and categorize entities. 2. Highlight entities within the formatted context. B. Part of speech tagging. 1. Utilize part of speech tagging for word categorization. 2. Enhance readability by grouping words by their grammatical properties. C. Dependency parsing. 1. Apply dependency parsing to analyze grammatical relationships. 2. Visualize dependencies for a clearer understanding of the text structure. D. Sentiment analysis. 1. Use sentiment analysis sparingly and only when necessary. 2. Provide insights into the emotional tone of specific sections. E. Contextual synonyms optimization. Implement algorithms to identify and replace contextual synonyms. 2. Enhance the overall coherence and consistency of the content. F. Context window analysis. 1. Analyze the context window to understand the surrounding text. 2. Improve accuracy in identifying relationships between words. G. Customization for domain-specific terminology. Allow users to customize the template for domain-specific terms. Enhance adaptability for various industries or subject matters. H. Regular expressions for specific patterns. Integrate regular expressions to identify and process specific patterns. 2. Enhance the precision of information extraction. And then part 3, use case implementation. A. Use case. Quote, character length, close quote. 1. Set a character length limit for all code blocks. Ensure code readability and maintainability. So I don't know if we included that or excluded that, but that was, yeah, that was the response that I got. And so from that, I figured, hey, is this necessary and sufficient in terms of being our third entry, right? So at this point, I didn't even know, hey, are we finished with this? Is it okay? Is it good? Can I ship this? So take a look again. We're at number 3, structured formatting for named entity recognition, or whatever the NER was supposed to be. Wait, let me check that out. No, structured formatting for NLP. That's what that was. Okay. So when we pick back up, I'm going to read the prompt that I put in, right? Because I didn't know, hey, is this all that's necessary? Am I good to go? So we're gonna pick this back up and we're gonna read the prompt that I put in related to my work as an aggregator to figure out if I was just doing a test blast, what would it sound like and what type of output would I receive back. Pause. Picking back up, the sample blast that we had for number 3 was as follows. Process this text using the format above. So we pasted our rough draft prompt, had a response, and remember, read is just as important as write. So it's not just about what it's reading as its input, but it's also about what it's tokenizing as the output as well. And so I said, process this text using the format above. Testing. Okay, so to begin a blast, so let's begin with the concept of a playlist. What is a playlist? Many people have asked this in terms of, in the tone of a presenter giving a, okay. Okay, I forgot that. So it was interesting. Okay, so this is a side note. Let me put this in the notes section for kind of going into a side tangent about AsAnAggLore lore. So there was a time when I was just starting to figure out, okay, well, 2019, 2020, that was when I said, hey, there's something here with my ability to use playlists to help me organize my consume, digest, my YouTube subscription box, the content that I consume using playlists in order to organize my thoughts when it comes to how I seek to consume content, right? So that's 2019, 2020. And then around 2022, 2023 was when I was really trying to start the process of becoming serious about what I thought that this should be as an expression of communicating the value that I find through the content that I consume by showcasing and highlighting content creators and content itself by using playlists, right? So part of that was, okay, well, dang, how do I, like, what am I even thinking about? What am I talking about? And what's going on? So I guess somewhere along the line, I'm introduced to Otter. So Otter was this thing where you just got to speak into a microphone and then it would automatically transcribe your stuff. But just around that time simultaneously, I mean, remember, this is from Q4 2023. So ChatGPT had just dropped in Q4 2022. So I had about a year in. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that in the blast, I was trying to almost simultaneously prompt in to prepare for, so it was like, I'm giving a blast talking about what I'm talking about, but also I want to talk to the large language model. So that's kind of where I'm at in terms of like where was I at when I was speaking about this, as I was trying to think for myself, but also think in terms of how it would be communicated to a prompt, to a large language model. So that's a little bit of AsAnAggLore lore. Pause. Process this text using the format above, : testing. Okay, so to begin a blast. So let's begin with the concept of a playlist. What is a playlist? Many people have asked this in the tone of a presenter giving a backstory, a oration, saying, quote, well, this is the history of what we've come to know as the youth of playlists, close quote. It's going to be, enter space / period. It's going to be centered around the platform of YouTube, period. Enter, period. The purpose of this is to chart specifically video sharing platforms, period. That as distinct from music sharing platforms in many respects, open bracket, parentheses, include filler for compare and contrast between both. Closed bracket, parentheses, period, bracket, period, enter, period. Look up quick short, period, in dictation for, period, Windows software and Word dictation software, period. Okay, so far we've been embedded within the Canva app, performing voice dictation. This has been useful. See, I'm in the mode as if this was a blast on Otter. Enter. Okay, we're going to scratch that, period. Okay, to get back to a playlist, what is a playlist? A playlist is a collection of videos. I feel like that's an established premise. Why do we use playlists? Question mark. And more importantly, why do we create playlists to begin with? Question mark. When people normally think about playlists, they think about music they think about sharing. What is tantamount to, a burned in mixtape, except in this case, we're talking about a digital abstraction. An abstraction that contains the variable difference of what's tantamount to 500 kilobytes all the way to hundreds and hundreds of gigabytes. If it's a multiple hour 4K video, the difference in that compression ratio in terms of the cybernetic ecology shifted the bound in our Overton window in terms of culture commentary surface area. Open parentheses, provide technical research for the amount of data stored in an audio capacity for a music CD, a music record, a music album, and a music song, and cross-reference that based on the historical average of data that people were able to transfer amongst themselves before. That as a medium of exchange. And then after this, we got, I was expecting a formatted response, and this is what I received from ChatGPT. We might have been using, since we were using a Custom GPT, it's most likely I was using ChatGPT 4.0. ChatGPT 4.0. So this is the response. Formatter, template creation. A, include headings as testing. 1. Define the main topic for clear identification. Consider using relevant keywords or phrases. B. Use structure tool as structure. Establish a hierarchical structure for the content. 2. So pretty much after all of that, it pretty much said the same thing over again, and it gave me a code list character implementation, and it included sections. For one, it included A, B, C, D, E, F, and for part two, it included A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. So actually, as a fun note, we're going to pause and copy and paste this entire section back into, well, excluding the last part about code, and we're going to put this into GPT-04 mini. So let's pause here. Picking back up, this was pasted into 04 mini in Q2 of 2025. So the title, okay, so we already read through this, and this was the output. It thought for 22 seconds, searched the web a little bit in case you want to read this. Scrolling. Executive summary. This document presents a structured formatter template designed to standardize raw data processing workflows by defining clear sections, headings, hierarchical structure, overview, introduction, main content, and conclusion to enhance readability and maintainability. Build upon this template, it integrates involved advanced natural language processing techniques, including named entity recognition for entity categorization, part of speech tagging for grammatical classification, dependency parsing for syntactic mapping, sentiment analysis for tone detection, contextual synonym optimization for coherence, context window analysis for relational accuracy, domain-specific customization for adaptability, and regular expressions for pattern extraction to automate and refine information extraction with high precision and scalability. I. Formatter, template creation. A. Include headings as main topic. B. Use structure tool as structure. C. Include overview. In case you want to read this, it's here. C. Include overview as overview. D. Include introduction as intro. E. Include main content as content. F. Include conclusion as section conclusion. Part 2. II. Advanced analysis techniques implementation. Named entity recognition. So describing some pipelines and libraries it's introducing. Part of speech tagging to assign grammatical categories, dependency parsing, parsing models, to map syntactic relationships between tokens, revealing subject, verb, object structures, and modifier attachments. Yep, sentiment analysis. D. E. Contextual synonym optimization. F. Context window analysis. G. Customization for domain-specific terminology. H. Regular expressions for specific patterns. And then it says, okay, by following this two-part framework, first establishing a robust formatter template and second layering advanced NLP pattern matching techniques, teams can streamline raw data transformation into structured, manageable, actionable insights with transparency, accuracy, and adaptability. So I said, process this text using the format above. And then we already read this. So this was the output. Over a year later, thought for 5 seconds. I. Formatter template. Okay, apply to the same text. Include heading as main topic. Main topic, understanding YouTube playlists. Use structured tool as structure. Overview, intro, content, definition of a playlist, purpose and history, platform distinctions and data considerations. C. Include overview. This document unpacks the presenter's raw dictation on playlists, defining what a playlist is, tracing its origins, and contrasting video sharing versus music sharing platforms, while flagging opportunities to research historical data storage norms for mono audio. D. Include introduction as intro. The speaker steps into a live oration style, using text, using voice-to-text tools, e.g. Otter, Windows dictation within the Canva app to blast the audience into the subject of playlists. After a brief false start, scratching out tentative digressions, the focus shifts to clarifying the concept of a playlist and setting up a framework for deeper technical and historical analysis. E. Main content as content. One, definition of a playlist. A playlist is a curated collection of videos grouped for sequential or thematic viewing. It parallels a burned mixtape in music culture, but exists as a digital abstraction spanning from kilobytes to gigabytes per item. 2. Purpose and history. Okay, so we're going to tag this explaining content, timestamp 25 minutes, 15 seconds. Purpose and history. Pause. 2. Purpose and history. Audiences associate playlists first with music sharing, then with video platforms. Presenters often couch the playlist's origin as a cultural artifact, the youth of playlist, invoking backstory oration to situate its evolution. The shift from analog mixtapes to digital lists exemplifies how format influences consumption habits. 3. Platform distinctions and data considerations. Video versus music platforms. Playlists on YouTube focuses on video streams, while traditional music platforms prioritize audio fidelity and limited file sizes. Voice dictation context. The draft's numerous enter commands and side notes reveals the speaker's reliance on voice-to-text interfaces, which affects pacing and clarity. Data storage variance. Video playlists can range from a few megabytes low-res clips to hundreds of gigabytes multi-hour 4K recordings, vastly outpacing typical audio file sizes. F. Include conclusion section as conclusion. The text sets the stage for a two-pronged exploration. First, to solidify the playlist concept within YouTube's ecosystem, and second, to perform technical research quantifying historical audio media storage, e.g. CD, video, vinyl, digital song, as context for how much data early adopters shared peer-to-peer. Next steps include gathering average file size benchmarks for analog and digital audio formats and mapping their throughput against modern video playlist demands. Pause. So that's where we're going to leave off for this section, section number 3. Structured formatting for NLP. This video is a part of a larger series involving large language model culture commentary. Click here for a navigation aid on your screen now appearing as a playlist. First video should be a hypergraph key. The second video should be a table of contents. Catch up on all things AI culture commentary with the following quick pick series. This is AsAnAggLore, your first stop shop for curated content on YouTube.